Hello and welcome to Create Love Arts. This is Sharon again, and I'm here to show you how to make color changes when you are working with yarn in any crochet project. There are different ways to do it, but they're pretty much the same. So, you know, it isn't terribly difficult once you learn it. So what I'd like to start with is flat, actually. When you are working on a flat piece, like this one, and say halfway through I need to change colors for a design pattern, or just because that's part of the pattern itself, what you want to do is get to the spot where it says to change the color, right the spot before it says. So this is going to be the hole that we're going to change color in. And how you're going to do that is you're going to leave, I'm doing single crochet, so you're just going to pop your hook into that space, pull up a loop like you're going to make the single crochet right there. Then you're going to pull this yarn forward and hold it with your thumb. And you're going to grab up your new yarn. You're not going to make a slip knot. You're just going to leave enough for a tail. Bring it up behind your work, yarn over, and just hold it there. Yarn over and pull it through. Now you're going to grab the yarn you pulled forward and the tail of that yarn and give them both a tug. And that'll cinch it down. And then you'll go right into that space with your color. And leave the other one hanging right down the bottom there. Now that's in the middle of a row. So the big trick is just pulling it over in the last two before you complete any stitch. And that works with double, it works with triple, it works with half double crochets. All of those work together. And you can change back. If you want, you can weave it back behind the stitches, this yarn, as you go along, just catch it behind there. Or have another skein ready to go, and you can just change back. Just like that. Okay, this is pretty simple comparatively. Now if you're going to change at the end of a row, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to bring that yarn forward. Oh wait, I already put my stitch in there. I already put my hook in there. That's not going to help you. Hold on. Yeah, you're going to put your hook in, pull up that last loop. So for your single crochet, bring this one forward, and then pull up whatever color you're going to use, yarn over and pull it through. And then you just cinch it down. Now you shouldn't do what I just did there. I just did it for showing you purposes. But that's how you change colors, is halfway through. And that's anywhere in flat work. Now, that's fairly simple, and you can do it in any part of your work while you're going. When you're working on something that you slip stitch around, like a headband. Say we're working on ear warmers, and I've chained up my 30 stitches or however many for whatever you're doing, and I've double crocheted myself across. Then your flat work, you're just going to take it in your hand, keep that loop on your hook, bring the first stitch you did, you're going to put your hook through there and pull through. Now, say I want to switch colors here. The pattern is a striped pattern. So before I do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hook in there like I'm going to slip this one through, but instead I'm going to grab up the new yarn. Just drop your working yarn. Okay, pull that working yarn, the new yarn through, and then give both of these a little tug. The other yarn too in the back there. This little guy, give him a tug, and then go about your business. And keep, just chain up and do whatever you have to do. Now when you get around to the other side, you'll also see when you do a round like this, you're going to use the tail from your chain to sew in this piece right here that's loose. Otherwise, you're going to continue just around as usual. When you get to the other side, what'll happen is if you want to pick up this same yarn again, it's a lot easier on the other round. I'm going to get around this, and then I'm going to meet you right back here. Okay, so I made it all the way around, and I'm on my last double crochet on this round. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it, bring out my 3 loops, yarn over and pull through 2, and then stop. Okay, now I'm going to pull this yarn around to the front and pick up the yarn that I left hanging behind. And I'm just going to pull that yarn through. And then you can just slip stitch right into this to begin your new round. Okay, up. And one of the things I just did wrong, and I'm glad I did it, I left this yarn in the front here. What I should have done is once this is in here, then you bring this back to the back. Okay, my mistake, and I'm glad I'm glad you could see it. So now I'm going to slip stitch right here and begin the next round. And that's how you switch colors for things like head warmers, bags, especially when you're doing tote bags and all the bags. What'll happen is behind here, you'll have a few ups and downs in the middle, but those things are hidden inside your project. So it's not that big of a deal. If you're doing stuffed animals and stuff, this is perfect for that because you're going in the round and you will never see the other side. It's only one-sided. So that kind of a join right there where I just left it hang down and then brought it back up, that will work just fine. Okay, so that's how you would do it in the round. That's how you did it flat. Now, say you're doing a larger pattern or even a smaller one that tells you to end off and cut that color and then begin a new color in a different space. What you're going to do is go ahead and end off. I didn't cut my yarn because I want to save it for a project. But say I cut that off and wove my ends right in. And now I want to begin in a different space. So it tells me to begin in any corner. So I'm just going to pick a corner and pop my hook through, grab up whatever new yarn I want to put in there. And again, I'm not going to make a slip knot. I'm just going to leave it like this with a tail for weaving. And then I'm going to hold it. And I'm just going to pop my hook through with the yarn on it. And then just do a little slip stitch. That secures it to the piece. And then I just chain whatever they tell me to begin. Okay, say I'm doing a corner here, so I'm probably going to do a couple doubles and some chain 2 and another double or 2. And then that's how you begin. That's just how you start that. So when it's easier when they tell you to go into a different space because you're just going to slip stitch into that space. And then at the end, yeah, you'll have a ton of ends to weave in. But most of the time, they'll tell you to end off and weave in your ends. When you're on a larger project that there's a lot of color changes like this, I don't always do that. Sadly, that makes my life difficult sometimes. But excuse me, if you weave in as you go, it's easier. But if you weave in as you go and you make a mistake, it's harder to get back and fix it. So keep that in mind. However you want to do it is entirely up to you. But color changes 3 different ways. So you have your flat color changes, your in the round color changes, and then your larger piece in a corner color change. And I hope this helped somebody to figure out how to do this effectively. And please like, subscribe, and follow and do all the things. It really does help me out. I hope you have a fantastic day.